Okay, here we are back in Celestian Tales, the Old North. And it does turn out I ran past a save point while looking around for a save point. Kind of blends in here due to its color and everything. It's off, like it's right here at the edge of the building. Yeah. Anyway, last time we got through one of the most tedious boss fights I've seen. And we now have to explore the place, see what has changed, get some ransacking done, and there's nothing over here, which is a bit disappointing. So there's some sort of business waiting for us, but we weren't really told what. I assume it's probably stuff to do with the story, but we can talk to some people and maybe get some clues. There are many types of knights in this realm, with different ways to rise to prominence. Most knights that go to war with us are either the young and fresh or the old veterans. Well, aren't you either a newbie or a veteran? Is there no middle ground? Those Enders sacked a whole town down and still were that strong when we fought them. The ones we're going to face in the northern shores are fresh, healthy ones. I don't know whether I'm shivering from fear or from awe. Before this, Mount Colin used to belong to House Eucease. Now every one of them are dead, and there are no known successors either. And another little annoying part is the rubble here. It blends in on the ground very well. If it were blackened or darkened or something so you could see, it'd be a little bit better, but it's just a little annoying to get caught on it at times. Anyway, I need to get that. What have we here? Small aqua crystal. Were there really a number of world enders roaming around here when you came? It's amazing that you can survive against them just by your own. Lord Severin told us to get some rest and get ready for the next big battle. But with my heart beating so fast at the anticipation, how can I get any rest? And is our scavenger buddy still here? Composite bow. Well, that I'd say is actually an improvement. While it doesn't stack, the fact of the matter is she's probably just going to do one attack every now and then when her turn finally comes around. As for the party, I've been rotating them as needed. Camille was nice because she can pierce defense for the enemies that like to turtle to a certain degree. Renard, he's nice due to his power, but he doesn't have much else to help him survive. He does have a move now that allows him to stay up with a 1 hit point for 3 turns, which may be what he needs to jump to the top. I just need to wait for him to get a nice weapon. Would he like to purchase crystals sanctioned by the church? So, I was under the impression, based on what the devs said, these were going to be kind of scarce, but that does not appear to be the case. Yeah, I think it might actually just be easier to let the guys die and then bring them back. Because in the game's lore, these are supposed to be so scarce that they only permit 1 per person. It's just during the beta, I assume they're being more merciful. I don't know. Previous boss fight makes me think otherwise. Our medical supplies are diminished as we gave some to the Durandals, yet I have little worries. If the Ravager continues his brilliance in warfare, I do not doubt of our victory. What happened to this town shall perhaps be our warning. This is merely a fraction of what those creatures will do to us if we do not attain victory in this war. Thy wounds are cleansed. May Deus keep thy souls brave and thy minds clear. The trial for Sir Astori Levant will be held in Mount Calm's Castle's audience chamber. We've cleared the front gate of the castle so you can enter the building from there. So that's what we're waiting for, the trial. The use of arcane is considered heresy. Trial of this nature should be under the church's domain. However, this happened as part of a war maneuver. It gives the army's leader a right to judge as well. Therefore, technically, the judges should be Lord Gareth and Lord Severin. I don't get all the ruckus about arcane practitioners. As long as they die when you stab them with a spear, how hard can it be to put them down? Well, the trick I imagine is that they don't die when you stab them with a spear. before we walk in there, let's see if there's anything around the corner. Lord Levant looks to be very liberal in controlling his subjects' faith. First, Sir Lupin openly confessed he's a Feolite. Now it's Sir Astori who practiced arcane. Lord Levant may be a benevolent and capable ruler, but Deus help his faith. Not see anything sparkle. So that's Gareth, I assume? Entry to this chamber is prohibited except for the Inquisition. Won't want anything to pilfer things that might give us hints now, do we? Oh no, don't tell me I'm glitched. Seriously? Okay, I had to reload and come back. Hopefully this guy doesn't glitch me, but you can see something sparkling in that room. The underground area is currently closed by the Inquisition for investigative purposes. Please leave the premises immediately. And that was your clue when they were talking, hey, grab your stuff now because you're not coming back. So let's see what these guys have to say. Trial for Sir Astori Levant will start soon. You are expected to stand witness in this trial. Please speak to Seneschal Roosevelt. Let's begin. The trial for Astori of the Levant, accused of practicing the arcane, will start soon. You were there when the incident happened, Squires. You'll be asked to stand as witnesses. Are you ready for the trial? Very well. I shall summon the other judges and the accused. Get to your places, Squires. The trial will commence. The trial of Astori, Knight of Levant, shall commence. Soldiers, bring in the accused. So how badly did they beat him? Did they beat the confession out of him yet? Since this is medieval times, that's when they had all those fun torture devices. Astori, Knight of Levant. You are accused of performing arcane arts, a practice forbidden by the law. And speaking of torture devices, we didn't even see what all was in the basement. Wow, that may suck to be Astori. Do you confess of breaking the law in this manner? I do. Very well. The judges were informed that you perform these arts in order to save the lives of others. The judges call upon Marianne, Countess of Belanus, to deliver her testimony. Lady Belanus, tell us of the events that happened leading to the moment of the act. Yesterday, these squires were sent by the army's commanders to Montcalm on their own. Their task was simply to notify its nobles of our arrival so that the preparations can be made. However, soon afterwards we received news that Montcalm had fallen to the Enders. Unsure of their capabilities to fend for themselves, I took the initiative to go and assist them. I took with me Sir Astori, for he claimed to be knowledgeable of the town. We looked for the squires and found them in the underground chamber of this castle. There they were surrounded by dozens of those monstrosities, and soon so were the two of us. It was then, when we were out of options to escape, that Sir Astori performed the act. The incantation momentarily dazed our foes. We used the gap to slip away to safety. That would be all, judges. May I ask thee a question or two, Lady Belanus? Of course. Lady Belanus, thou said in thy testimony that ye were out of options, was it? Indeed, we were cornered, outnumbered, and exhausted. But ye could still fight, yes? We could have fought, but I believe the chances of us surviving were very slim. If my memories mistake me not, there were 8 of ye at that moment, 'tis correct. Where are you going with this, Gareth? Lady Belanus, please answer the judge's question. Yes, there were 8 of us. Well then, was it truly impossible to save thyselves? Each of thee were well-trained, well-equipped nobles from thy respective houses. One amongst thee is even a renowned duelist, wielding a sacred sword, no less. To get away unscathed would be unlikely, I concur, but to merely make it out alive? 'Tis not an impossible feat for the lioness of Belanus and her faith-keeper, no? Are you suggesting we should have fought that horde of creatures on our own? I know my own limits, and so do the squires. We couldn't win against them. Ah, but thou would have not known the limits of the faith-keeper. Surely, the Deus would have rescued a wielder of one of his sacred blades. Unless, of course, if thou did not believe in his intervention. Alas, I shall neither speak nor make an argument out of uncertainty. After all, none can truly know what plans does the Deus have in works for each of us. Yet I cannot help to think that Sir Astori's arts might not have been truly needed. It eased the endeavor of thy survival, perhaps, but to argue that he saved lives, 'tis doubtful of me. Gareth, you... Your testimonies have been heard, Lady Bellanews. Thank you. Please return to the witness's stand. There are no stands. We're just standing. Now, if you please. Will there be any more questions from any of the judges? Does the defendant have anything to say before the judges decide his punishment? None. Very well. The judges shall now decide the sentence to befall the defendant. Speaking on behalf of the Church of Deus Valorus, High Cardinal Gareth of the Geraldine. Death by drowning. Speaking on behalf of the defendant's army, Lord General Severin of the LaRue. Exile, 10 years of length. This must be a joke. Silence. The two judges differ in their decisions. By the rights of an arbiter, I shall deliver the final sentence for this trial. A story, Knight of Levant, I hereby sentence you to be stripped of all possessions which remain in the realm, to be, from now and henceforth, denied of all titles, family names, and all rights to inheritance, and to be exiled from the realm of the Old North for 15 years. Exile? How lenient. Well, he did save some lives. Are you sure it's not because he's Levant? 'Tis be lunacy. Surely thy words speak not of a just decision. Silence, Baron. You dare question the decree of an arbiter? Even arbiters stand not above the laws of the Deus, Seneschal. Heretics deserve nay better than death by drowning or be burned at the stake. And what do the laws say about heroic sacrifices for another High Cardinal? What do the scriptures say about one's courage to admit guilt, to have neither saved himself nor escaped a trial that may well end his life in dishonor? Is this not the very virtue of bravery the law teaches to its followers? My decision stands, Geraldine. Now return to your place. Squires. Yes, Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear? Well, you meant yes, Seneschal, sir. We were to escort a story to the port down south for his exile voyage. You'll be handed a letter and gold coins to give to the soldiers there. If he escapes in any way imaginable, all 6 of you will be deemed accomplices. If it comes to that, I shall befall upon you the same sentences as his. What? Why don't we get punished as well? What if he uses arcane against us? That's for you to figure out yourselves, squires. You are given orders. Your duty is not to ask any questions, but to do them well. Stop whining like little kids and start acting like the knights you're going to be. Youngsters these days. This corps is dismissed. Take this heretic away. Intolerable. What kind of a circus is this? Betoken, Lord General, that the army of House Geraldine withdraws from this war. One heathen has escaped just punishment. I shall not give the runaway the same chance. But Lord Gareth, we need as many people as we can to fight the World Enders. Without you and the Inquisitors in our ranks, we'd be severely weakened. Doth thee not see the abominations that roam under this very ground, Sir Arthur? The demented man that is their maker is currently roaming freely in this realm. What wisdom makes you believe we shall let such a creature be? The realm of ours needs to be protected, not just from the outside, but also the inside. Let us not see the only one, and leave the other to silently gnaw upon us. Arya? Yes, honored father? Deus protect thee in the battlefield, dear child. Yeah, I bet he would regret sending her off to the House of Levant now. And thee as well, honored father. I shall be leaving as well. My paladins and I have set ourselves up in one of the abandoned houses in this city. Come and visit me later, squires. I didn't actually see which house was hers yet. So, question is, are we supposed to find her or go to sleep? And unfortunately my timer is blocked right now, so I can't see how long these scenes took. Was it this one? There's a guy standing outside. Yeah. Lady Bellanews awaits you, honored squires of the Levant. Would you like to meet her now? Sure. Very well, please go through. Squires, you must be tired, and more than a little confused, perhaps. As if having abominations are not enough, then along comes a magi. Deus, what has this realm turned into? How did we let such evil take root among our nobility? Instead of joining the main force and charging at the enemy, we're to look after that man. I can't condone his methods, but that man you're rudely addressing saved our lives. Whatever happened, happened. We should be grateful to still be alive. As strict as your uncle, I see, the apple falls not far from the tree. Yet 'tis a fair question, milady. Why did the task fall upon us? Would it not be less conspicuous to send others instead of us whom he had saved? Surely the Seneschal understands that there is a risk that we feel indebted to him. Actually, I think it's one of the reasons why the Seneschal gave us this task. Can you explain it in a less cryptic way for the less educated, Camille? Imagine yourself a common soldier, guarding a man who wields unknown powers of great might. Wouldn't you fear him? Wouldn't you be so cautious for your own life? It's very much probable that you'd strike as soon as he does anything barely suspicious. Are you saying that the Seneschal seeks to ensure his safety? Well, he would have just ordered the man to drown if he didn't care at all. Such a decision would also be more acceptable among nobles, thus helping his reputation. But perhaps, more than anything, he feared for the safety of Sir Astorius' guards. So it's better to send us away instead? I don't get it. Look, Sir Astorius has destroyed his life to save ours. He wouldn't do anything to us to undo that. That's a different story for common guards. Who knows what he can do even in shackles? Camille of the Rhine, he'll make a great strategist one day with such insight. Such complicated reasons for a single decision. Arbiters have to make many difficult decisions like this in a split moment. The Seneschal may not look like it, but there's a great mind behind that towering body. Are humans always this complicated when they decide on something? Not me. I think we can all agree on that, Renard. Lee thinks it's weird to even punish him at all. He saved our lives. Such a thing shouldn't be so hard to decide, right? With illegal methods, Ilian, one right does not make up for a lifetime of wrongs. He is fortunate that the Seneschal did not send him to Witch's Nest. Death be a better fate than that. What's the Witch's Nest? Probably where we're going next. It's a prison island, Ilian. The worst of criminals are sent there and locked underground. I heard the cells are so dark and damp that prisoners are slowly blinded with time. The warrens will inflict horrible pains, but not kill the prisoners so they may suffer longer. Their wounds then soon become reeking gangrenes, slowly creeping to the rest of their body. The slow rot to death turns many to madness, and many helplessly beg for a quick death. But chains keep them from suicide, and the wardens ensure they suffer for their crimes. Humans can be very scary. There's a reason only the worst offenders are sent there, Lee. Many of them deserve such cruelties. Lee isn't sure which one is scarier. People who can do things to deserve it, or those who think such a horrible punishment is alright. Alright, enough of frightful bedtime stories. Each day, the Enders keep arriving in large numbers. Severin will wait for you for the assault. By dawn, the army will march to White Rock Hills, and then to the northern coasts. We'll take on the Enders where they land their ships and lock them there before they can cause more havoc. You should regroup with us as soon as you've escorted a story to port. Understood, milady. Levant soldiers have a house ready for your personal use. You'll find it in the southeastern part of town, just beside Severin's command house. Go, and have some rest now, squires. It'll be a long day tomorrow. Don't see anything shiny, so we're not sticking around. And after all those scenes, you bet your ass we're saving, so 14 minutes approximately. Greetings, honored squires. This house has been reserved for your personal use. The Lord General is prepared to mobilize the army. Tomorrow we shall march north. Would you like to rest until morning? Sure. Very well. Please take care of dividing the rooms by yourselves. Can't I just leave Renard outside? If we look around, we might find a doghouse somewhere. He can use that. The northern coast is harsh. It's unforgiving for the weak. Its salty winds are strong and dry, and your skin will wither and bleed as you move in your armor. Our enemies, the World Enders, are bigger than us, stronger, fiercer. They came here crossing a sea that we all thought was the end of the world. And they did it with ships, powered with the sheer strength of their arms. Our battle with them will not be easy. Let none of you believe otherwise. And through that battle, not all of us will survive. Not all of us can return to our homes. But even knowing this, we shall fight, for if we don't, there won't be a home left at all. The Old North shall stand through this war, and it will do so because of us. The realm will prevail because we, today, at this moment, do not falter. For the North, long live the Ravager. Soldiers, let us march. Showy as always. The two of you never change, do you? Don't worry, Thetis. You'll never be Severin, but you have your own charms. Really? Nope, just joking. Soldiers of Belarus, you heard the Lord General. Let us show the wolves of Levant that lions too have claws to bear. Paladins, let us march. Arbiters, forward. Whoa, Lucien's uncle looks so calm and composed. Do you want to be like him someday, Luce? No, I don't want to be like him, Lee. I want to stand at his side, serving him as his loyal lieutenant. Together we shall defend the realm, side by side. That is my dream. That's some hardcore idolizing there in your eyes. If you weren't his niece, I bet you want to be his wife as well. Damn, you're now thinking about it, aren't you? Enough with this chatter. Let us hurry and escort Sir Story to the port, then we can catch up with the rest. Please, I'm not a sir anymore. Indeed, I'm sorry about that. It's fine. Shall we go now? Where is it? The war camp, perhaps? Vampires, I don't remember this area. Did anything... Okay, that's a big circle. Okay, that's a bit odd for an area. And that would explain why I don't really remember it. Thank Deus for Lord Severin and the army. These leftovers will find new homes in my family's stomachs tonight. Are there any other pieces of loot? Greetings, masters and misses. I hope you don't mind me cleaning up after the army. Okay, I'm hoping there's no shinies, since apparently I triggered the scene. So, I guess this is goodbye. Thank you, a story, sir, for saving Lee's life, and not doing your scary thingy to her when we walk together. Lee thinks the others should thank a story, sir, too, but maybe humans don't do it like Lee. You're welcome, little elf. Wait. Sir, I mean, a story. May I ask you something? What is it? What does it look like? The world outside this realm. It's amazing. The people, the lands, the things they are capable of. Makes you wonder, really, how the Old North could have stayed like what it is. If we ever see each other again, Camille, I'll remember to tell you stories. And maybe, if things have changed here, I can show you things. Thank you, Sir Story, for everything. I should be going. Please, send my regards to Elaine Squires. I really didn't know what to say to him. He's a criminal, I know, but he still saved us from those horrible creatures. If you treat him as what he is, Lucien, one right wipes not a lifetime of wrongs. Alas, a good deed is a good deed still. Even a heretic like him is entitled to our gratitude. Well, he's gone to the outer realms now. Bit late to say anything, don't you think? We should focus on the present. Do our best with these lives that he saved. Isn't that a better way to show gratitude than mere words? I never thought any wise words to hide under that thick head of thine, Renard. Could it be that we're purposefully hiding it all along? I just want to hurry up and go north so we can fight some Enders. I've been itching so much for the Russia war, a clash between life and death. I haven't expected too much, it seems. To reach the northern coast, we have to go through Montcalm Forest first. The animals there are docile, so no need to worry. I bet there'll be some isolated Enders roaming around the forest away from the main pack. Better keep our weapons at the ready. Those giants hit like mountains. I agree, we should tread Montcalm Forest with caution. The army's healers and smiths would have left Montcalm by now. We can, however, take a boat and return to Levantine for a moment. We can restock crystals and forge our weapons there. That would be a safer option, yes. We should always travel with preparation. Relax, let's just rush to the north right now. We shoved our way through bandits and Enders. We can survive a short walk. He has a point. And that's another level. No skills unlocked. And I don't think I need to go back, but... right here I'm just looking at the line going up. You can kind of see the textures there need a bit of tweaking. So, they said Montcalm Forest. Maybe there's a way around it. And I wouldn't mind going to Levantine if I knew there was a side quest or something special there, but right now I just wonder if it's a time sink. So this is something I haven't seen since the beta. Let's try left. Didn't even see him there. Well, if I leave the area, he comes back. Let's see if there's anything to the right. Hopefully less enemies hiding in trees. Like there's one hidden in a tree there. Talisman of the Serpent. So I imagine that's poison resistance. If nothing else, it's still another tool at my disposal that may come in handy later, even if not immediately. You can see that the one has respawned, which is why I didn't want to go out here until I saw the other side. Another guy in the trees. Seems to be a popular spot with these devs. That's a dead end. That's looking like the way forward. One log is blocking your way. So don't tell me we have to wait decades for that thing to rot away. Gonna guess down here. I can probably see both areas on the next screen, so... Or not. Okay, the place is certainly big, if nothing else. Talisman of the Horse. Stun resistance. So if this takes us out of the area, I need to go back 2 screens to access the other one. But it looks like I guessed correctly. We got the Talisman of the Owl as a reward. I'm gonna assume that has to do with sleep. Silence. Now let's go this way. Don't know if there's a boss in the area, but this is almost long enough to be its own part with all those other scenes. Okay, I was wondering where that one went. And we're at camp. Deus, what has happened to this place? So many wounded, so many dead. Welcome to the front lines of war, fellow squires. Things are far from pretty here. I hope we can get used to it. Lee doesn't ever want to get used to this. There's so much pain, so much grief. How can you not hate this, Lucian? Some must fight for the sake of all, Lee. That's how humans survive. Even if war is right to be hated, would you stand still when raiders rob your land? For years, I've been one among those who fight, they who belong in the battlefield. Look at all these deaths. Nobody wants war, Lee. It's ugly. It's despicable. Yet the fact remains that we still have to resort to it for the sake of our survival. If we don't win here, more cities will meet the same fate as Montcalm. More will be destroyed, more will die, more will be taken away by them. Rather than letting such things happen, I'd choose a despicable war any time. Sadness and grief has a place, but not here. Here, we set our sights on victory. Now that you know how horrible a war is, will you fight with us, Lilian? Will you fight with us in this war for a future where there's no more of it? Lee is still not used to the human world. There's always so much conflict, so much fighting. Well, if she can help to make the world of humans more peaceful, then she will. That's good then. Keep up that spirit. You'll be fine. You sound close to your uncle already, Luce. Maybe you were only talking to Lee, but your words have also made me believe in you. Don't say such flowery lies, Isaac. I'm still so far away from him. Now, let's talk to the soldiers here and see what we can do to help out. Sounds like a plan to me. Let's go. So, yeah, I'm gonna put a break here. Okay, it looks like this whole part went around 30 minutes, maybe. And I'm not going to take that one fight out, I'll just leave it in so you can see what the enemies are like here and how they pay kind of poorly with a meager 53. But that's it for now. Next time we explore the front lines and see what we can do. So until then, I'm the hero